Welcome to Young Church with Community Church Warrenden. I am so happy that you've decided to join us again this week. We have been talking about the book of Proverbs. We learned about King Solomon, the man that God used to write the book of Proverbs, and how he was a very wise man who got all of his wisdom from God. And so the book of Proverbs is packed full of all kinds of important things that we can learn that will really help us to live better. Last week, we talked about the ants, and we talked about how hard they work and how diligent they are, how they are not lazy, and how they store up food during the spring and summer so that they'll have what they need during the autumn and the winter months. And so that was something that we learned about working hard to be like the ants. Well, this week we are going to be taking a look at another proverb. This proverb is found in Proverbs 25:28. And this says, like a city whose walls have been broken through is a person who lacks self-control. And so what we're going to do is we're going to think about what that means. I've got some building blocks here. I really like to play with these. And back when Jesus lived, a lot of cities had walls that were all the way around the city. And that was there to protect the city. It would protect the city from people coming in who did not belong there, people that might want to steal or hurt the people who lived in that city somehow. And so back in that time, cities would have walls around them to protect the people that lived there. And they would want to keep those walls up and keep them in good repair so that nothing happened to them and so that people who lived there would feel safe. And actually, in the city of Worcester, if you're on City Walls Road, you can see where part of the wall that used to be around the city of Worcester is still there. So those of us that live in Worcester can see what the wall of a city would look like. And so this proverb is saying that a person who lacks self-control is like a city whose walls have been broken down. So let's think about that a little bit. What does it mean to have self-control? It really just means that you are able to control yourself. And that's a pretty easy way to describe it, isn't it? Having control over yourself. And a part of what makes it hard to control ourselves is that we have something called emotions. Emotions are things that make us feel things. And some emotions make us feel happy and excited, or maybe we might feel shocked or surprised. Sometimes we feel sad, maybe disappointed. Sometimes we feel angry and hurt and really, really upset. And that can cause us to do things that we shouldn't do. And that is what it means when we don't have control of ourselves. We can be like a city whose walls have been broken through. Now, a city who doesn't have any walls wouldn't be safe. It would not be a very good thing at all. And so that is what we want to think about, is how important it is that we learn to control ourselves. That when we learn that we have that feeling inside of us that maybe we're angry or upset or mad, and we want to say something that might be very hurtful or mean, we need to learn to not say it. We've talked about controlling our mouth in the Proverbs as well. Or maybe we want to hit somebody, or maybe we get frustrated with our schoolwork and we just want to tear our paper up because we're so angry that we can't get it right or that we don't understand what we're doing. But what we need to be able to do is sometimes we need to just take a deep breath and we need to not follow through on those feelings that would make us do something that we don't really want to do. Sometimes when we want to say something that would really be nasty and hurt the feelings of someone around us, we might need to go to another room until we can calm down. Or when we feel like we want to punch something or someone, we might need to sit down and just take a break We might need to walk away for a minute. That is what it means to have control over ourselves. When we start to feel that feeling inside of us where we feel like we're going to lose control, we need to take a deep breath and we need to not do it. And that can be super, super hard. Even grown-ups have trouble with that sometimes. And in Proverbs, we find another verse that can really be a help to us in that. It is Proverbs 18:10. And it says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe." And what that means is that when we might feel like something is really too hard for us to do, like controlling ourselves, we can go to God. If you think of a big, tall tower, I don't know if you've ever been to the Broadway Tower, or any big old castle might have a strong, big tower. That is a very safe place. And when we feel angry or hurt or mad, we can take a moment and pray to God about it. We can say, "Lord God, please help me. I feel out of control. I feel like I want to hurt something or do something that I will be sad about later. Help me have control." And God can help us with that. Let me read that verse again. Proverbs 18:10. "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe." And sometimes we might not even know what we're feeling. We might feel confused about what we're feeling. But God is always a safe place for us. We can always go to Him. Even if we feel angry or sad, we can talk to Him about what we're feeling, and He will be a safe place for us. And God will strengthen us and help us to control ourselves. So that's what we want to remember this week. We want to remember that to not have control over ourselves, to let our anger get the better of us and have us do things that we really regret doing later, we need to have control over ourselves. And that can be a very hard thing to do. And so we need to turn to God and ask Him to help us have self-control. He is a safe place for us. He is a strong tower that we can run to. So that's what we have to think about this week. And I hope that you will, when the next time that you feel inside something that is really strong and you feel like you don't even know what you're going to do, but you're going to do something you shouldn't do, we need to remember to turn to God and ask for help. And sometimes we need to say, "I'm going to need a break. I need to go to another room," or "I need to just take a deep breath and have a seat away from the situation." But God can help us with those things. Nothing is too hard for our God. He will help us learn to control ourselves. And our verse for this month that we've been working on since January is Proverbs 3:5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." Let's try that one more time, and let's go over the motions. That always helps me learn a verse. Proverbs 3:5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you right here next Sunday.